Today, we're going to dig into something that happens right in front of us, but we barely ever talk about it. The insane amount of money you spent on elections in Meghalaya, and more importantly, the hidden cash that's really pulling the strings.
I mean, just think back to the last election season, right? The noise, the massive crowds, the posters plastered on every single surface. It's this huge, expensive show. But the real story isn't just the money you see, it's about the money you don't.
So, first up, let's just talk about the spectacle itself. What's happening on the ground? A modern campaign, it's not just a couple of speeches anymore. It is a full-blown Hollywood-level production, and it costs a fortune.
I mean, just wrap your head around the scale of it all. You've got these huge stages with professional sound systems, massive tents for rallies, entire fleets of vehicles just to bring people in from all over, and let's be honest, even paid crowds. Not to mention the banners, endless banners. Every single one of these things is a massive line item on a budget. This is big, big money, just hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so with all this money being thrown around so visibly, you'd naturally expect a really clear, detailed paper trail to follow it, wouldn't you? I mean, the law definitely says there should be, so let's take a look at what the rulebook says is supposed to happen. On paper, the whole system is built for transparency. Parties are supposed to be like an open book. They're required to get their accounts audited every single year. They have to declare any big donations they get, and they need to report every last rupee they spend during a campaign. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, this is where things get interesting. It's where reality and the rules just completely diverge. On one side, you have the law demanding total transparency, but on the other, the reality is a completely closed book. The accounts are murky, the big money donors are hidden, and the official reports, they show just a tiny fraction of the spending that we all saw with our own two eyes. So, this giant gap between what's officially reported and what's really happening on the streets, well, that creates a huge puzzle. And that is the central mystery of how our political system is funded. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the official books only cover a small piece of the pie, who's bankrolling the rest of the show? The answer is a term we've all heard, but it's absolutely crucial to understand what it means in this context. We are talking about black money. And let's be clear, this isn't just some sloppy accounting. This is a parallel, hidden economy that is fueling our elections. It's cash that's undeclared, totally untraceable, and it's what gives a political party its real power, miles away from any public scrutiny. So how on earth does all this illegal money get injected into the system without setting off all the alarms? Well, the methods are actually pretty clever and surprisingly systematic. Okay, so here's the classic playbook. Picture this. A party gets a huge off-the-books cash donation. Instead of declaring it, which would be illegal, they chop it up into thousands of tiny amounts. Each little piece is below the legal limit for disclosure. Then they just record them all as small donations from anonymous supporters. And poof, just like that, millions in black money gets laundered and looks perfectly clean in the official records.
And believe me, that's not the only trick in the book. Money gets funneled through fake companies that don't actually do anything. They use benami donors, which are basically just names on a list acting as proxies. Or they just mix party funds with the candidate's personal money until you can't tell which is which. Sometimes the easiest way is the best. A big cash deal happens and nobody ever writes it down.
So with all these complicated, hidden ways of moving money around, what happens? Well, the official regulator, the Election Commission, is often left totally in the dark. Instead of being an active cop on the beat, they end up becoming just passive observers of a game they can't even see properly. Now, this isn't just some technical problem for accountants to worry about. This hidden money, this whole system has deep, damaging consequences for our democracy and for every single one of us. This really brings up a fundamental question of loyalty, doesn't it? When a party's real financial backers are hiding in the shadows, who are they truly loyal to when they get into power? Is it the voter who cast a ballot, or is it the secret donor who paid for the whole campaign? And let's be crystal clear about this trade-off. The secret donor isn't just giving a gift out of the kindness of their heart. They are making an investment. In return, they get to influence policy, they get juicy government contracts, they get protection for their business. And what does the public get? We get policies that help special interests, we get higher costs because of corruption, and we get a government that's accountable to its funders, not to its people. All right, so we've seen the problem, we've seen the methods, and we've seen the consequences. So what now? Well, it all starts with asking the right questions. Think about it.
We spend so much time and energy talking about how rich a candidate is. But isn't the real story the invisible pipeline of cash that's funding their entire party machine? Maybe we're pointing our flashlights in the wrong direction.
The next time you see one of those official expense reports claiming some ridiculously low spending number, just compare it to that massive rally you saw yourself. Does the math add up? Or does it look a little bit like the books have been, carefully cooked? And with this huge gap between what they report and what we all see, where are the consequences? I mean, seriously, how many political parties have ever faced a real penalty, a big fine, a suspension, anything for filing false reports? The silence on that is kind of deafening, isn't it? This is the question that really sticks around long after the votes are all counted. Those hidden donations, they were never charity. They were down payments. And the bill always comes due. Usually it's paid with policies and contracts that help a tiny few at the expense of everyone else.
And that brings us to one last big idea to leave you with. What if the price of admission to even run in an election was a mandatory, fully independent forensic audit of a party's finances? What if we, the citizens, demanded that level of hardcore transparency as a basic condition? It's a powerful thought, and definitely one worth chewing on.